Hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. My name is Mr. Maxwell, and welcome back to another chat about video games. It's been an interesting week.
Yeah.
This last week. We're gonna start off with that because it's the big one.
Yeah.
Really, we're not really gonna talk massively about it because I've kind of stayed away from it. But, mainly spoilers. I don't know anything about the spoilers.
I've seen spoilers.
I know that people are upset.
Yes,
about
I can understand why people are very upset. I'm not going to go into them, but I can understand why people are very upset about them.
But Sony and Naughty Dog have been content in ID. Is that the?
Yeah, they've been content IDing and basically like striking channels that are discussing the spoilers.
Yes.
Like actually opening out, like saying what these spoilers are.
Hi. Which is not good.
No.
It's not cool, Sony and Naughty Dog.
It just makes you look like a complete and utter arsehole.
I will be honest, with the spoilers, I am worried now. I wasn't that worried before.
Yeah.
Even with everything that...
I mean, I'm not going to tell you them because I know you get that game and you want to go in like blind.
I'm going to go as blind as I can.
You've done what I tended to do when Metal Gear's games were in development and coming out. It's like I would bury my head in the sand from any news. It's like nope. The only time I actually got a hold of anything was the whole Kojima Konami Fallout thing. That was the only thing I actually paid attention to. And as soon as they started going into any details of the actual game, it was like, nope, don't want it. Nope, not going to read or listen to that. Nope. So yeah, everyone who there's a reason why people are upset, and it's in my opinion a legitimate good reason for them.
It's a good gripe.
Yeah, they have a legitimate reason.
That makes me worried.
Yeah, you should be.
Back to the kind of ending. They've struck quite a few channels. I know they've struck Geeks and Gamers, right? And they were doing a stream, and they weren't talking about they weren't talking the actual spoilers, and they weren't talking about and they weren't showing any pictures or anything like that. What they were talking about was the actual leak. How it might have happened, because when they did it, everyone is. It was just speculating and rumours that it was like a disgruntled employee, could be a hacker. That's basically, and their stream got pulled. Which is quite shocking, actually.
It just
Sony.
It has the opposite effect. I understand them wanting to try and make sure the story isn't publicly known, so that people can experience it and it doesn't spoil it for people, because some people don't want it to be spoiled. I can understand that, but doing it this way, this heavy-handedness, just makes them look like a bunch of dicks.
Even when the thing is, even when they're not actually talking about the spoilers.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where I don't like it, but I can understand your point of view if you are doing it because they're doing the spoilers.
Yeah.
I don't agree with you, but I get it. I get what you're doing. But when all they're doing is discussion how the spoilers could have happened, and they're not showing any spoilers, they're not talking about the plot or anything like that, and then they just strike that stream or video and pull it, all that does is harm you, because that just makes you look like a dick.
Yeah. It has the opposite effect of what you wanted. It just makes people more concerned about the game.
Yes. And
you don't want that. And two, your public image just gets thrown into the trash from it. So you just don't do it. I mean, hell, even EA don't do this sort of shit because they know, and they're the experts of literally having a crap public impression. And they don't do this because
if EA and Activision don't do it, then just don't do it.
Yeah, because that's a level of they know this is going to end poorly.
I mean, a couple of years ago when Persona 5 came out, Atlas did it.
Yeah.
I mean, really, Naughty Dog should have looked at that, because that did not go down well when Atlas did it. And I would argue that Atlas had a much more legitimate reason for them to do it.
Yeah, because... Yeah, well, the thing is, though, the way they tried to do it was like, look, guys, we know you guys all want to play it and you want to show your appreciation and love, but it's like...
From Atlas's side, it generally came from a good place.
It came from it was just done poorly.
It was done poorly and wrong.
Yeah.
You know. And they learned the lesson.
Yeah, and they openly, I think, didn't they apologise like a few weeks later?
Yeah,
they did
apologise.
Guys, we dropped the ball on this one.
Yeah,
we apologise. We meant good, but we obviously understand that it's been taken in the wrong way and it's come across the wrong way. So we're just gonna like back off, which is
whereas this is just unfortunately for Naughty Dog. The information's out there now.
Yeah,
it's out there.
It's
you
too
can't
late.
do anything.
You
can't just
damage is done.
You can't.
It's like trying to put out a fire when the building's already collapsed.
Yeah.
And there's nothing else. There's like it's not like you still need to put out the fire because it may put another house on fire. It's like no. There's nothing else around. It's literally surrounded by a moat covered in water. It's like the building is completely collapsed. There is no one inside. There were just a few embers left. The damage has already been done.
Yeah. So just.
And all you're doing instead of getting the water cannon, you've got a gasoline and gone. Whee!
So Naughty Dog, Sony, stop it. All right, stop being douches and just get on with it. Although it has apparently come out that it was actually a hacker that released the spoilers. Yeah. Again, this is apparently I'm really kind of just other than the whole content ID thing, I've kind of stayed away from everything for
because like I say, you want to go in fresh and blind.
Yeah. So
with no preconceptions of what's going to happen.
Now that our opinions on that is done, let's actually talk about things that I want to talk about.
Yes.
So most of this is actually good. There's no sort of like shitty practices. There's nobody in the things that I'm talking about. No one's being a dick. So first off, our good friend, I say friend, he's never met us, and nor does he know of this channel or anything like that, but our good friend, Jeff Keighley, is holding a Summer Games Fest throughout the next 4 months.
Which sounds pretty sweet.
This is on, this article's on Metro. I know it's on other things, because this is actually pretty cool. So I'm liking this. So, with EA being cancelled, because that's that...
E3.
Did I say EA?
I mean, we all wish EA could be cancelled.
I said EA. E3 being cancelled. And quite a lot of other gaming events have been cancelled. Evo's just announced that it's been cancelled.
The International's been and has just announced that I think they're postponing till November. I think, if I get my stuff right. I know it's been postponed, but anyway.
So basically, what this is, it's kind of by the sounds of it. Jeff has organised his own sort of digital E3, by the sounds of things, called the Summer Game Fest. Designed from the ground up as a first of its kind all-digital consumer celebration, Summer Games Fest is a multi-month global festival that highlights video games, the world's leading of entertainment. Sorry, Keighley has also dropped some of the companies that are inside. So we have 2K, Activision, Bandai Namco, Bethesda, Blizzard, Bungie, CD Projekt Red, Digital Extremes, EA, Microsoft, Private Division, Riot Games, Sony, Steam, Square Enix, and Warner Brothers. They're all the ones at the moment
that are confirmed.
Yeah,
and it'll only get bigger.
Yeah, this is only going to get bigger. Like, it's 4 months.
I mean, hell, you've got Sony and Microsoft who will also
they're going to use this as their big sort of.
But also they'll probably like bring in other third parties to show that's what's coming on the PS5 and what's coming on the Xbox Series
X.
God damn it, Microsoft! I'm going to complain every time I say that goddamn console's name. It's like, why do you have to have it that long? Why? Could you not just go this? Anyway.
They're hoping to hear from Nintendo in the next couple of days. So maybe Nintendo might be there as well.
Yeah.
Doubt it, because it is Nintendo.
Nintendo would like to do their own thing. Although they could do a special like Nintendo Direct for this.
Yeah,
you know,
like they do with E3.
The E3. It's like,
Yeah.
we'll still do our own thing, but we'll like do a special one because it'll be part of your thing. You know what? I'm gonna hopefully I'll keep an eye out and see if we can get a schedule because I would like to do like just to watch them and see what
we can do. See what we've seen.
It'll give us something to talk about as well.
Yeah, well, thanks, Jeff. See, he's a friend of the channel.
He's a friend of Gamers All, so that's fine.
The event is going to be distributed on all major platforms: Twitch, YouTube, Mixer. Mixer's a major platform. Oh, bless. Facebook.
Well, they do have Ninja
and Twitter, with Keighley himself intending to host special pre and post shows for flagship events. So I'm guessing because it's going to be 4 months long, it's probably going to be like every weekend, is what I would do. Because I can't imagine it being every day for 4 months.
Yeah.
You're going to run out of stuff unless you do one game a day.
It depends what they do. I mean, Jeff Keighley's massive thing is like he wants to put like the indie developers, like give them more of a spotlight.
Yeah.
So it could be a case of like he wants as much time as possible to put as much indie developers in as well, which
Probably
would be pretty cool.
Well, it's very true. You probably will. But like I said again, I can't imagine because I'm not going. I'm not going to stuff.
It won't
This
be.
is why I'm saying like weekend because then
Yeah,
you can
possibly.
fill Saturday and Sunday with just so much stuff.
Yeah. Also, it's like it's not going to be all day, so it'll be like I don't know, maybe like.
Because like what I was
say
thinking,
2 hours, 2 hours a night. Every night, every night that they actually do something, it'll be like
I would say
like a E3 conference, however long they are. So like Microsoft would probably have
about
the same
2
amount.
hours.
Yeah, about
about
2-ish hours.
Yeah.
So,
So I would go. What I would do if I'm going to do,
most likely it's going to be probably at the weekend.
I would have the weekend for like the big announcements,
Yeah.
and then the week, during the week, just
like
have
have
set
little-
demos
Yeah, so demos are like individual like hour sessions for like different
or
or
play tests
yeah.
for things, so like the players can actually look.
And the one thing I'm pretty sure he wanted to do was, like he does with the Game Awards, where like if a game's shown and there's a demo, like they launch the demo at the same time.
Yes.
Which if I really think that's an awesome idea, because then it like gets people interested in the game, and then they go and play the game, and then they can like go, well, this isn't for me, or oh my god, this is actually really good.
This is really cool.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he does try to do something like that.
So this is a quote from Keighley. In these uncertain and challenging times, it's more important than ever that video games serve as a common and virtual connection point between us all. He's very correct there.
He's very correct.
He's very correct there.
Those of us that are gamers, and probably anyone who watches this video are probably just as much are gamers as well. We're not affected as much as people who don't play video games.
Yeah.
Because, we can still communicate with the people we play our games with online, and the games are good, long, especially like certain games like Final Fantasy, RPGs, sports games.
Now is the best time to play RPGs.
Oh god, yeah, so much time.
Now is the best time to play RPGs.
But yeah, no, what I'm saying is that a lot of quite a few games like are timing intensive. You can get around and play now, and there's a fair few games that a lot of people probably say, "No, I wish I could finish that." Well, you got time to do it now.
Yeah, you do indeed. I'm looking forward to this. Summer Games Fest.
We're affected less by the lockdown because we have access to this. Some, there are other people that are not as fortunate per se.
Or they're just not into this.
Or they're just not into this. In which case, they, I wish there was a way to show them, like, look, it's not all this, like, gun shooting and all that. There's, like, real interest.
There's Animal Crossing.
Well, you know what I mean? It's like the genre for the gaming genre. There is a thing for everyone. It's the same with movies. It's the same with TV. The same with books. Like if there is something you're interested in, there is probably something for you, you know, and it's not all fast-paced action stuff. You know, there are some, like, you know, City Skylines is a very slow, is a city builder, and they're usually very slow-paced, and you can take it at your time. Granted, City Skyline has the death waves, which are just a quirk of the way people move in, etc.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I was a bit sort of like, well, because E3 and the Game Awards, well, actually more the Game Awards now, but those two are like now where we get what releases are coming, especially for.
Well, it was. You could see the trend was moving away from
it's
that.
moving away from that now.
I'm just like, regarding E3, the one thing I'm gutted for is the fact that I will not be able to see the Devolver Digital.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they do another. They do, instead of doing well, obviously instead of doing E3, they just do during this one day just another one of their ridiculous fucking presentations. I just want that so badly because it is so good.
Yeah.
Hey, and they won't have to spend as much on travel and accommodation, so they'll be able to spend more on booze.
That is true. That is very true. But yeah, I'm just trying to think, like, I wonder what announcements we're going to get for this one.
I would probably say more stuff on PlayStation 5.
We're going to get PlayStation 5 and
Xbox
Xbox Series X. We're going to get that stuff. I'm on about just games in general. I'm not really fussed about what console
we
they're on.
We may or may not get more details on Cyberpunk.
Oh yeah, because this will be the last thing.
It would have been the last E3 before it came out.
Although actually, this ends the same month that Cyberpunk might be the last thing that we get from this.
Possibly.
It ends in the same month that Cyberpunk comes out. It ends in August.
I think what, like,
I'm thinking possibly a new Batman game.
Yeah, because there was that teaser tweet
that they did.
So it could be the point where where we can get like the first trailer, maybe.
Hopefully, we can get some more of that Godfall that's coming to PS5.
Yes,
because that does look pretty fun.
It does look interesting.
Slasher looter, I think it was. They said it was.
Yeah, something like that.
Obviously, anything from Square Enix, I'll always pay attention.
There may or may not be more like information on part 2.
Yes, very, very true.
So that's a thing.
I'm wondering what Riot Games are going to do. Because I can't remember the last game that they did. I might be wrong. They might be like I've recently released one and I can't.
Yeah, off the top of my head, I can't think of something. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they've done something recently. But I can't. Off the top of my head, I can't remember. Failing me at the moment.
Bungie will probably show off their next because they've
the next expansion for Destiny.
They've announced the next. I think it's either an expansion or the next series. Just fairly recently in a live stream.
Yeah.
So there's probably going to be more information on that. Bandai Namco, Armored Core 4. Not 4.
5, 6.
6. This will be 6 because they have announced that they're working on it.
No, that's From Software though.
Yeah, but it's with Bandai Namco.
Yeah, that's very true. Also, speaking of Bandai Namco, after playing as Tifa on Final Fantasy VII, she's screaming to be in a Tekken game. She is literally the juggles that lady has. It's just fantastic. It's like, why is this not a thing? It's like, you've got Noxus. Just look. Just go over to it. It's like, look, Final Fantasy VII Remake then is the big thing going on at the moment. We hear you have a character that is literally a beat 'em up character. Can we put her in the game? Literally, she is fantastic and fun to play with.
She'd fit in as well.
Oh yeah, easily. I mean, to be perfect, she may actually make some of the characters put to shame, but I don't care. Hashtag Tifa best girl. Tifa is amazing. I want her in Tekken 7 now.
I don't think there's anything. A Private Division? Private Decision, sorry, Division. What's wrong with me? Private Decision. What did they make? Oh, they made, they were part of, Outer Worlds. I think they published for Obsidian.
Yeah.
So maybe something to do with that.
Maybe.
Possibly.
That'll be interesting. That will be.
This. I'm actually looking forward to this.
Yeah.
We'll have to keep an eye out.
We'll have to keep an eye out, see when the schedule's released of who does what when. And hopefully, I mean, I know it's going to be American time scale.
Yeah, but I'm sure
could you please have the time scale for the East Coast and not the West Coast? That'd be great. That'd be great, because I don't want stuff to be like at 3 o'clock in the morning if I want to watch it live. No, I get enough of that when WrestleMania comes around.
Please don't do that. Please don't do that to me. I have to get up at like 4 o'clock in the morning to work.
Yeah.
please don't do that to me.
That would be not good. The opposite of good.
So yeah, Summer Games Fest sounds great.
Yeah.
We'll keep an eye out on it, find out anything cool, and we'll talk about it in our chat. And the next one, which I find really cool, which you actually told me about.
Yes.
And then I found the article. The original Star Wars Battlefront now has multiplayer on Steam.
Yeah, the one made by LucasArts and not DICE.
Yeah. This is fucking mint.
I know.
Those the original 2 Battlefront games were mint.
Oh, they were fantastic.
Loved them.
This one, I think, didn't have space battles, but it didn't also have the overpowered.
I think it had one, but you had to get onto the enemy ship.
No. Oh, I'm trying to remember, because I played Battlefront 2 like a lot more than I did Battlefront 1, and that's because Battlefront 2 had a campaign mode. Battlefront 1 didn't. It was just basically a bunch of random battles.
Yeah.
But, like, the fact that they've introduced, like, on PC, it's like up to 32/64 people playing on it at the same time. And it's like, and they do have, like, it's the same problem that Battlefield 5 has in the case that it's like, there's not actual, like, set battles that are set for, there's an Endor map. There's a Tatooine map. I think there's a Mos Eisley one. I'm trying to remember off and not get the two mixed up, because they were released like very close between. There was not much time difference between the two releases.
Yeah.
I think there was a Hoth map. I'm pretty sure there was a Hoth map.
Yes, there was a Hoth. I remember that map because that was the map that I played all the time.
Yeah, you got AT-ATs and it was awesome.
Yeah.
But you could justify it like it was a PS2 game, so
yeah.
Like, they couldn't have recreate the Battle of Hoth entirely, and they couldn't recreate the Death Star Trench Run because there wasn't actually any space battles. You couldn't recreate the second battle event, the space battle of Endor, etc., etc., etc. But the thing was it was fun.
Oh yeah,
it was a joy to play, and I would honestly say this is like the original 2 are better than DICE's versions, solely because there's more It just feels like people made that game that like knew what they were doing in regards to like the Star Wars franchise.
Yeah, and
not like let's just make it a shiny Star Wars game
and then shove in a load of microtransactions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the original Battlefront was released in 2004.
Yeah.
And it was then re-released just last year on Steam.
Yeah.
And only recently has the multiplayer option.
Yeah, because the reason why the multiplayer went away for the PC on
it's because the servers were like run by GameSpy, and they went out of business and they were gone.
So anything that was around GameSpy
lost their
online multiplayer, and slowly but surely these games are getting their online modes put back in. One, for example, is Star Wars Empire of War.
Yes.
That had its multiplayer put back in last year, I want to say. And the modern community on that thing is freaking amazing. Thrawn's Revenge is fantastic. I'm crap at it, but it's fantastic. But yeah, like slowly these games are getting their multiplayers put back in through other means and methods. And Star Wars Battlefront.
I really like
fantastic.
This.
It's fantastic news, because that is better than EA's versions.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I remember those games.
Easily better. I mean, yeah, they've dated a little bit because of how old they are, but they're still fun.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. A load of fun. It's supposed to be 64 players.
Yep.
64 players on PC, which is nice. Mm-hmm. It is actually... what does it say? According to Steam charts, it's double the Steam version's average player count now.
Yeah.
So it's like...
Because it was primarily done for multiplayer.
Mm.
It literally is like the concept of Battlefield, but in the Star Wars universe, and that's pretty much what Star Wars Battlefront was, and it is in a sense still. But that game is just so much funner to play. Yeah, it's so much more fun to.
And
play.
Then you get Battlefront 2, which just takes everything from this one and then
just
ups the ante a little bit.
Yes.
It really does. It really does. They're really good games. A lot of fun. And so on to the next one. Now this is something that I really wanted to talk about because I'm quite interested. So Final Fantasy 7 Remake creator says that the project might be broken into shorter stories to get it out quicker.
Well, the whole breakdown of like what's going to be in which part has always been a question because they said part 1's Midgard, so it's like, well, how many parts is this going to be? We don't know how many parts it is, so they can get away with doing this. I mean, the original theory was, well, the game is in 3 discs originally, so it's going to be potentially 3 parts. But obviously, with them just doing Midgard
and the amount of detail and everything that they've added in to Midgard,
then obviously, no spoilers, please, because we've not beaten the game yet. So, because of that, it's like, well, what's the next bit? Are they going to release it as like DLC? Maybe, potentially. Are they going to just have like more parts instead of like just big chunks? I don't know. It feels like they've created a massive rod for their own back. The fact that they've just made Midgard and made it this big.
Yeah, I think, and this is
also it could be a case of like with the next part could be like the world map, so they could be able to like have it play a little bit more similar to the old games where you have kind of random encounters on the world map.
Yeah,
maybe. I know people say they don't like random encounters, but I don't care. I enjoyed. It was a break from the story, and you just ran around and beat monsters up. That was it, and I enjoyed it. It was a good like little break from the story. And you need that from time to time. Yeah.
So, I think this is just what I think that they could do. Is well, let's have a look at this to make sure. Right, anyway, okay, so let's have a look. I'm not going to talk about what I think now after reading this. So, right. Final Fantasy sales and the mirror, yep, that's fine. Despite the fact that the initial release covers far less than disc 1 of the original. Does it?
Yes.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh, alright.
Yeah, no, right. Disc 1 ends with Aerith's death.
Oh, yeah, it does, doesn't it?
So you got to think, right? Hashtag spoilers for for decades old game. So after Midgard, you have
no. I know that. I just forgot that.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff.
Yes. I forgot how big this one was. Just leave me alone.
Not counting side quests.
We don't need to go into what comes after Midgard. Okay, I get that.
In a sense, Final Fantasy, the vast 99% of the story for Final Fantasy is in the first 2 discs.
Yes.
Because disc 3 is basically just all the extra side stuff that you can do after the caves available.
Yeah.
And the final dungeon. That is it. That is it for disc 3. Disc 3 is that. It's almost like they ran out of room on disc 2 and went, well,
we'll just put it on a third disc. Right, so let's have a look. Most recently in the Ultimate book that went up for sale in Japan, That's just translated by Twitter user, I'm not pronouncing that, spoke about the next part could entail. Nomura, who is the director, explained that if we divide the story into large parts, it will take longer to make, and that if we divide it into a much more detailed, smaller sections, then developing it will be faster. He goes on to say that he hopes to release the next part ASAP.
Okay.
Kitase clarifies that although they aren't set on how many parts it'll be, there is widespread speculation that it will be a trilogy, and Lee leaves it at that. So yeah, by the sounds of it, it could be something like...
It's an awful lot of stuff they've got to put into two games now.
Yeah.
That's an awful lot of stuff they have to put into two games.
Yeah, there is.
Because let's just list it, right? Just story, right? Chocobo Marg through to Junyan. Boat trip to Costa del Sol. Move it up to Medeal, I want to say. I can't remember what it is. Barrett's hometown.
Yeah.
Gold Saucer.
Mm-hmm.
Prison of the Gold Saucer.
Mm-hmm.
Zach's hometown.
Mm-hmm.
Cosmo Canyon. Nibelheim. Rocket Town. Let's say they decide that it's not optional. Wutai.
Mm-hmm.
Temple of the Ancients. Moving north to the Snow Village and and then to this to the City of the Ancients first.
Then the north.
Then heading north from there up to the Snowy Mountain, the mountain village.
Mm-hmm.
Then to the up to the top of the crater, and then after that we're back in Junyan.
Yeah.
After which this is the part where Cloud's missing. Now, and Tifa takes over for a very short time, and then we find Cloud in I can't freaking remember the name, but where we find Cloud, that little village.
I think it is Medeal.
Medeal, yeah, maybe. Then Sid takes over.
Yeah.
And we go to, I think it's the trying to get the giant materia.
Yes.
During which we end up back with Cloud getting. We have that little flashback with Cloud and Tifa in the live stream after the fight with Ultimate Weapon. Mm-hmm. Cloud's back, joins back the team. Then you go get all the giant materia, which you then take back to Cosmo Canyon, which is where Bugenhagen dies. He passes away from old age. I think you missed
Cosmo Canyon.
No, I didn't.
Did you?
I went. Zach's,
oh, okay.
Zach's home.
Yes. Cosmo Canyon. All right.
So we get all the massive materia. Then it's Midgar again, because that's when the Sister Ray is built and fired. We then go back to Midgar, kill Kojo, and then it is the final dungeon. All that has to be now, apparently, if it's going to stay as a trilogy, has to be put into 2 games.
I think it's gonna have to be DLC. They're gonna have to add DLC.
Yeah. In a sense, of the way they do with Final Fantasy 14, where they have like extra bits come in to like bridge like the different parts.
Oh yeah.
So I could see them releasing DLC which focuses on us getting to Junyan, and then taking the boat, and then that ends, and part 2 starts when we land at Costa del Sol.
Yeah. I wouldn't say no to that.
If I'm getting the name right.
Wouldn't say no to that. So what? Like 2 DLCs. So make the first DLC up to. So maybe make the Midgard's-Ulim a boss.
Yeah. First DLC takes you up to Junyan. Second DLC takes you through Junyan and the boat.
Yeah.
And then part 2 is
this is possible.
Then part 2 is probably up to the table of the ancients. Because the thing is like, where do you end part 2?
That's a good question.
Where do you end part 2? There's an awful... This is the thing when they said, oh, part 1 is just Midgar. I'm like, you don't understand how much stuff happens after Midgar. I mean, there's Calmtown I forgot to mention, which is the very first place you go after Midgar. And the flashback, which has the flashback, which is not a short flashback.
That's very true. Unless they take that out.
I doubt they would do. Unless it's already mentioned in the friggin'
Or
part
they
1.
maybe do if they do it as a flashback, it's a cutscene instead of...
Again, though, that's an awfully long cutscene.
I'm trying to think of ways that they can do it.
Awfully long cutscene for them to put in.
I'm just trying to think of ways that they could do it. Because, like... I mean, even if they do it with DLC, it's going to be expensive DLC.
I
it's not going to be cheap.
I just wonder if the remake has gotten so, like, has had a problem, like, you know how, like, Kickstarters do when they get feature bloated, they get bloated with all the new features added.
Yeah.
A bit like Star Citizen, which is still not released after so many years in alpha.
It's still an alpha after all that money that's been put into it.
I know.
How is that possible? Anyway.
But I'm wondering if it's suffering from that, where, like, they went... Well, we can make this better, bigger and more in depth, and we can do this, and we can add this, and then they got to a point where it was like, shit, this is actually a full game now. Just this one bit.
That might have happened.
I'm worried that they've made a rod for their own back, because now people would expect the same sort of, like...
Level to detail,
and, like, extra stuff added to each part.
Yeah.
Which would make this game, you could.
I don't think this is going to be a trilogy. This is not going to be a trilogy.
This is going to be like 5.
We're going to get like
5 parts.
I'm going to go 8. I'm going to go 8. Let's say we don't get any DLC. 8.
Yeah, potentially. I'm thinking like. I mean, we're talking about the stage where it's getting to like anime arcs.
Yeah.
of a Shonen Jump series.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous. It's just going to be so long. I'm like. I mean, it's cool adding this new stuff, but part of me is literally like, you didn't need to. You didn't need to add all of this, you know? Like, the Sector 7 slums being as it is in the new one, in the remake, is actually pretty nice. I like it. It adds a bit of more of life to it. There's a bit more life to it. There's people randomly talking about stuff that's actually going on, and just also about just random stuff that doesn't involve you in any way. I love it. It's a lovely bit of world building that they've put in. But like this bit that we've stopped on, going from basically running through underneath the plate, I don't see the point of it. It's a bit in the original game that's like 5 minutes max.
Yeah. If
you just run through it, and they've elongated it to this what's probably going to be like an an hour long thing, depending on how much you want to go and fight and get all the extra stuff. So I'm literally like, why have you decided like the bit where we have to switch all these off to power this?
Yeah.
I don't see the point in it.
Yeah.
I don't see the point in what. There was no need to add this feature in.
I think for most of it, there's a lot in there that I didn't really need to add in. I think it's just... I think they really wanted, when they decided, right, we're going to do it. We're going to do a remake of Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
And when they decided...
They didn't want to just make a shiny Final Fantasy VII.
I think they wanted to do something... I think they wanted to turn... They just wanted to explode Final Fantasy VII. Like, make it just this ginormous...
Yeah.
Enormous thing.
But there's a...
I think... They didn't think about, like, what they would have to do. If you know what I mean? So, like, I think maybe they were just sort of like, well, if we can add these, let's add this in, and then let's add this in, and then let's add this in. And not actually thinking about...
Is this getting a bit too big?
Is this getting too big?
Yeah.
Because I do agree, there are some things in there that feel like...
Yeah.
Now that I don't like this, the bit that we were up to with the play, the
Yeah, the game's
For
still
some
enjoyable
things.
to play. There's no complaints that way.
I'm not complaining that it's in, but I do agree with you. There is like, does this need to be here? Really?
Yeah, does it really need to be this thing right now need to be in here? And I'm probably gonna say no. It doesn't need to be in.
I mean, if they had a way of like maybe expanding, maybe the relationship between Cloud and Barrett, get them sort of.
Oh yeah, but the thing is though, that's coming in the banter between the two.
Yeah, I know. No, what I mean is like maybe gets extra scenes with Cloud and Barrett.
Just Cloud and Barrett together. Yeah, maybe.
Then I could be like, well, that's why that's there.
Yeah.
That's why this is
like,
this is there.
for example, the bit where we go up to Jesse's parents' house.
Yeah.
That is perfectly understandable. I love the fact that we've gotten to do more stuff, even if it is one more thing with the other members of Avalanche.
But we've learned stuff about them, all three of them, because of that. So this one just seems like it's in there just to make this little section longer. I will admit that.
Yeah.
The whole plate turning off and all this. It does feel like it's just there to make it take a little bit longer for us to get to the reactor, because reactor 5 isn't very long.
No.
So unless they're going to do a whole thing with now we have to do what we did in the first reactor, so reactor 7. No.
Reactor 1, I think it is.
Reactor 1, yeah. So unless we're doing that, which I don't think we are. I think it's basically just going to be the same as
yeah, basically
the
getting
original.
plant the bomb,
come out and then get ambushed by the president.
Shinra.
The president and his oil baron ways.
Yeah, and
the airbuster.
Yeah, which I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to that boss because that was a fun boss to fight.
I'm not looking forward to that boss. I've seen pictures. It flies. I hate bosses that fly. In every game, I hate bosses that fly. Just watch Dark Souls 3. I hate flying bosses.
But yeah. Yeah, the question is now, how big is this game going to be?
I am all for an 8-part fucking opus.
I'm trying to
masterpiece.
I'm trying to think there's a book series that is just ridiculously long.
Game of Thrones.
That's never going to get finished, though.
That's never going to get finished.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, this may never get finished.
It's very true.
So it could be a very true. It could be a very apt comparison.
One Piece.
Yeah.
If we're going to go anime, I mean, to be fair to it,
manga.
I mean, we're coming to the end of that series, but like, it's 20 years old.
Yeah.
That series, like, and it's not like comics where like they restart the
like,
thing and reboot things. No. This has gone from 20 years ago.
Yeah. Here's the question: is Part 2 going to be on the next generation console? Is it going to be on PS5? Or
I would assume so.
Or well, in that case, how are they going to get the save? Are they going to transfer save files?
Yeah, because you can. What I would think is because the PlayStation PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
Upload it to the cloud and your PS5.
Yeah.
Because it's via your account.
Yeah, that may be how they do it.
Because the PS5 is apparently backwards compatible, so you'll be able to play Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy 7 on it.
Right.
So
anyway, but yeah, it's going to be interesting how much of the story is going to be in Part 2, because despite the fact that Midgar is like 30 odd hours for the remake, right? It is a tiny proportion of the plot.
Oh yeah.
Of the plot of Final Fantasy 7. It is a tiny proportion. And the fact that like the thing with like I think I've said before, like Midgar is this whole the entire start of the game is showing Midgar as Shinra are the bad guys. You're gonna be fighting Shinra, and helping this girl who is hunted by Shinra for reasons.
For various reasons.
For various reasons, because she's an
agent.
She's an agent. And then at the end of Midgar, it's like, holy fucking shit! What the hell?
What just happened?
Like,
why is
the
everything
person
green?
you thought was going to be the final boss is already dead, killed by someone that you didn't realize was even in the fucking game, and his And it's like, no, they're not the big bad. This other dude is the big bad.
This dude's the
By
big
the way,
bad.
welcome to the world. Like, it's a so small part of the original game, and I think, I honestly don't know. It could be years.
Oh yeah.
It'll be years before we get to the end of this.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna be an old man. I'm gonna be like in my 50s.
So, I mean, the one saving grace is that they have the game engine is done. They have the game engine.
Yeah.
So, like and they have the character models. They have the animations. So it shouldn't take as long.
No.
To, like, progress to parts 2, 3, 4, or whatever. It shouldn't take as long to get them out because they've already got like the monster models. They don't need to. I mean, the double-footed like buzzsaw robot.
Yeah.
That doesn't, in the original game, that doesn't show up until you're outside Midgar.
That's true.
So they can just start using. They don't need new monsters.
That's true.
So,
although I am looking forward to seeing the weird motorbike with the head and the. That's just once we get out.
Oh god, yeah. That's if it's not already in the game.
That's if it's not already in the game. That's very true. Because let's be honest, there are some weird ass monsters.
There are.
In
There are. There is. There is, and there are.
There's some weird ass monsters.
The Hell House.
Yeah. What the hell is that? It's a monster that looks like a house. Do you reckon that's where they got the idea for Monster House?
Maybe.
You know that animated movie?
Maybe. I don't know. But yeah.
I think we're gonna have DLC. I honestly think we're gonna have DLC.
Well, we're gonna have DLC anyway because they'll put in like different summons.
Oh no, I mean like story driven DLC.
I personally want them to put in like every single summon that's ever been. So which means they'll have to somehow figure out how the hell Doom Train works.
Well, you just make Doom Train like
one-off use,
like Hades.
Yeah, but Doom Train pretty much was Hades, except
he was a train.
Yeah, except he was a train. Because Doom Train did a whole bunch of side effects, and so does Hades.
Or actually no, this is better for Doom Train. He's not actually a summon in the game. He's Hades' big limit at the end.
Ooh.
So you summon Hades.
Yeah,
and Hades just like keeps throwing out.
Yeah,
poisons
Hades just
and all this
sits in
other
the
stuff.
middle of the place going.
Yeah, he doesn't do anything. He just like throws out stuff.
with his giant
with his
pot of,
cauldron of like
cauldron
poisons
of
and all
poison
that.
and
then when he goes, he just like disappears, and then a rail track appears.
Rail track appears and then
Doom Train just smashes into them.
No, actually, I wouldn't mind that. That's actually a good idea. Screenix, you can take that.
There's a lot of summons that are like other summons.
Yes.
In the game, so like why not have? So we can have Odin.
Yeah.
Right. So Odin, one of Odin's abilities is like, I don't know, he can call in other summons. So like Yojimbo can appear because Odin's just like, I can't be bothered dealing with this one. Because there was a Yojimbo, cut him. Sort of deal.
Is it Ixion and Ramur?
Yeah, they're pretty much the same.
Yeah.
So maybe have
lightning summons.
Let's have Ramura on top of a hill. Because he's just like firing down.
Yeah.
I think in all of his summons, he's always up high.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Smiting
he's always up
with his
high.
lightning.
So, and then his big attack will be like he summons Ixion on the bottom, and Ixion just does massive lightning attack sort of thing.
I'm trying to think, is there...
Because there's a lot of summons.
I would love to see Phoenix.
Phoenix would be fun.
Phoenix would be just so... the thing is, Phoenix would be absolutely drop dead gorgeous.
Oh yeah, I want to say like Bahamut. Bahamut's going to be Bahamut. Sorry, he's going to be mint.
Oh,
he is in this.
He is in one of them. I want all three.
Oh yeah. Could you imagine if it's Bahamut.
Yeah.
Right, and then next one Bahamut
Neo. Yeah.
And then the last one is
Bahamut Zeo. Zero. Oh,
I don't know how Bahamut Zero is going to work.
No, he's just a nuke from space.
He can be...
No, all it is the actual same summon. It's the same summon.
No. Bahamut Zero is like a raid boss from Final Fantasy 14. So he's so big, his whole body doesn't fit on the thing. So what you get when you summon him is like you get his claws on the ground, and then there's like the top of his body and his head, and he's just there, just like blasting the floor. Alexander, I honestly do not know how Alexander's going to work.
Because in Final Fantasy 7 he appears from the fucking ground.
He just comes up and just says, hello!
In Final Fantasy 8 he appears on the horizon.
Yeah, he's not even in the same
area.
area.
In Final Fantasy 9 he is literally the city of Alexandria.
I tell you something, if they do Alexandria, I hope it's Final Fantasy 9's.
Oh, with
Alexander,
the wings.
With the wings.
Oh.
Because that's the best looking Alexander summon. And it sucks that you don't get to use him.
Nope, because he gets one-shotted by Arc.
He gets one-shotted by Arc.
Because Arc is OP as hell.
Yep, it is massively OP. Arc, which just is... Oh, I think what they should do is like maybe tier the summons.
Yeah.
If they're gonna put all the summons in, we need to tier them. So like Chocobo Mog and Carbuncle and Tonberry and Chocobo Chick.
Yeah.
They're all like your low tier ones.
Yeah, so like you've got your low tiers, which like your early ones. So Chocobo Mog, Shiva, Irift. Basically, no. What I'm saying is like Chocobo Mog, Shiva, Irift,
Carbuncle. I'm trying to think of the other little ones.
Oh, you mean size wise?
No, it's tiers one. But if you notice that the little ones are like the ones that really do. They do damage. They do a lot of damage, especially at the beginning of the game. But like you're not going to use them once you start getting end game.
Yeah.
Nobody uses Chogamog against Sephiroth.
No.
Nobody uses Chogamog.
No, they use Knights of the Realm.
Exactly.
So like your early summons, your mid summons, and then basically your ultimate summons, which are just the one shots.
Yes.
So like Bahamut Zero, Knights of the Round. Trying to think who else is there in Final Fantasy.
Obviously
Odin. Alexander. Yeah, I would not be against Alexander being a one shot summon. So basically, you summon him, he pops up and just explodes the entire area with holy. I don't mind that. I'm trying to think who else.
Could you imagine seeing Atmos? Summoning Atmos.
Oh god!
Just this giant bloody mouth. Weird ball with a mouth thing.
Oh god. Yeah.
The possibilities are endless with these summons of what they can do. But what I really would love is Bahamut Zero to be like a Final Fantasy 14 raid boss that just appears. It's just like his body's so big it doesn't fit on the screen, so you can see his like arms and stuff.
I think there should be a distinction. Maybe not like 3 tiers, but like 2 tiers. Summons that stand and fight alongside you, like Irift, Shiva, Leviathan, Chocobo Mog, etc., like those, and then those that are just literally the summon, because that's the only way you could get Bahamut Zero and Bahamut Nero.
I don't know. I think you could have Bahamut Neo work. I think you could still just have him in the sky. That's what he does. He stays in the sky because I think Bahamut is going to be on the ground. So you have him in the sky.
Yeah. So
he's flying around, so you can still see him.
Yeah.
And that's how he does his stuff.
Yeah.
So, but the ridiculously huge summons are the ones that, like Eden. If they decide to put Eden in from Final Fantasy 8, what the like I can't even explain what happens on Final Fantasy 8 when he appears. What the hell is he gonna do in this?
Yeah. The thing is, like 8 has so many summons, it's ridiculous. It's, because of the junction system, and they're tied into that. Like the brothers.
Yes.
Titan. Titan would be just ridiculous.
Titan would be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Like this is the weird thing because Titan is one of my least favorite summons.
Yeah,
because he's always the same. He comes up and maybe flips the ground.
He flips the ground. Although in 9 he punches them. Oh no, that's
Fenrir.
That's Fenrir.
Yeah,
Fenrir. Can you imagine Fenrir in this?
Yes. Because I don't think Titan's in. Final Fantasy 9.
If he is, we haven't come across him yet. Although to be honest, all I've got is the DLC ones plus the Rift, and we've seen Rift in all his glory. and he is glorious.
Yes.
I have a feeling it's either going to be Shiva or I'm trying to think. What's the first summon you get is Chocobo Mog,
Yes.
which is in the original, which is after you leave. It's like the summons aren't a thing. You don't even know they exist when you in the original when you leave Midgar. It's like. And then you get this weird wet materia from the Chocobo and go, oh, what the hell is this? And you use it and go, oh, well, I'm going to keep using this.
Yes.
And then you get...
and Shiva's the next one.
You get.
And then Aerith.
And then it's like, oh my god, this is not actually this is not a joke move.
I think Aerith is the first one you get.
No.
No, I think Aerith is actually the first one you get.
No, you know. What, in the original?
No. You get Chocobo. And then you get...
no, you get Shiva. You get Shiva from the little girl.
Yeah?
Yes.
So when did you get Aerith?
On the boat. After you beat Genova for the first time. She drops the
Yes,
Aerith.
she drops the Aerith.
After that, it's a bit blurry on what you get next. I think Titan is the next one you get after that? Question mark?
I'm generally enjoying this talking about summons now. I know our talk about Final Fantasy 7 has just dropped, and now we're just talking.
Well, because we've already gone through what we think and like what we think about like parts 4, 5, or whatever. How many parts it's going to be?
But I am totally up for like summons for their big attack, summoning other summons.
Yeah, maybe. I think there needs to be a split. And I don't know, maybe this is already a thing in the game. It depends on what they've got in. I don't know. But there needs to be a split between summons that come in and fight alongside you and summons that have to just basically be their Final Fantasy / whatever summon.
Yeah.
But in ridiculous, over-the-top, high dev and beauty.
I'm trying to think what other summons. Because we've got Leviathan in.
Yeah.
We know Leviathan's in.
We know Shiva's in. We know Chocobo Mog.
Chocobo Mog's in.
After that, I don't know. Bahamut.
Oh, and Bahamut, yeah. Bahamut's in.
So we know they're in.
Good God, what's Typhoon going to do? He's an ugly motherfucker.
Yeah.
That guy. He's that weird two-headed thing, isn't he? If I remember correctly.
Yes. Because this whole thing is to flip the world upside down.
Yeah.
And he's one of the few wind summons in Final Fantasy 7. So,
how many? Actually, I've been thinking, how many Demi summons are there?
Not many.
Diablo
from 8.
8. Oh, could you imagine if they put him in?
Oh,
I loved Diablo. His whole look and everything. He was so good.
Part of me wants to know what their plans are for Knights of the Round.
What I would do, this is my idea for Knights of the Round, and I've been thinking about this, because I have been thinking, like, with the whole system, how is Knights of the Round going to work? So, this is my idea. Basically, how many knights are there?
12.
12, right. So,
there are 12 parts of Knights of the Round.
When you summon, you get one of 11 knights who actually fight with you, right?
Okay.
Their big attack is actually Knights of the Round.
Yes, so they just all of them show up on the ultimate turns.
Yeah, and then at the end, King Arthur appears with his one sword and just whoosh. Yeah. That's how I would do Knights of the Round.
The one thing, the fact that they've decided like you can't have more than one summon per character on each character. I'm like, oh no! And it also looks like you can't link like the purple materia to them. So it's like, oh, I won't be able to get my end game cheese of Knights of the Round plus HP absorb.
Nope.
That's kind of gutting.
That kind of sucks.
That was literally guaranteed immortality. Unless an enemy could do 9,999 damage to you, you were immortal. Because all you did is summon. And by the time you run out of MP, the thing was dead. Knights of the Round was OP as fuck, but it was a ball ache to get, and therefore it was justified.
Yes. Because you had the golden chocobo, didn't you?
The only thing that could get you there. A golden chocobo.
Oh, God.
The amount of times I flew over that island in the high wind, just desperately trying to find like a pixel I could land on. I was like, and then just gave up and did the chocobo thing.
Just give me one cheese. Just let me cheese one thing. Nah.
No, because this thing will let you cheese a whole bunch of other things.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, anyone wants to know key to victory in Final Fantasy VII optional bosses, it's literally Knights of the Round with HP absorb.
And then
although Ruby does have I think it's Knights of the Round counter.
Yes.
Which is not nice because it's ultimate.
Well, you just put it on a different one of the other ones.
Yeah, at least I think unless it was Omni slash counter. I can't remember. I'll have to play the game again and check it out. Try it out. I'm trying to refresh my memory on it. But anyway,
enough about that. I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else really to talk about.
Not really.
I hope you've enjoyed this chat. We have, especially the end.
Oh yeah.
Chatting about summons. No, what more can one person want? If you like, feel free to put in comments down below which summons that you want to see from any Final Fantasy game.
Yeah, any single one.
We're clearly going to be getting that.
Even Anima. Is it Anima? Seymour's mother from Final Fantasy X.
Is it not Ultimecia?
No.
Ultimecia.
No, Ultimecia is a boss. It's the one with the... It's like...
Oh, yes. Yeah, I know. I just couldn't remember...
It's got the top half and the bottom half.
I couldn't remember who Seymour was.
Weird.
Actually, some of the summons from Final Fantasy X. Because was it Valkyria, the first one that you got? The weird bird?
Oh, the bird one, yeah.
That's pretty cool. Then there's the 3 bug women.
Yeah.
They were alright. Obviously Yojimbo. I would love Yojimbo to be in this game.
Yeah, without the pay money mechanic. That would be great.
Without the pay
just
money.
Just have him randomly pick one, just like Gilgamesh used to in 8.
Yeah.
Randomly pick an attack, which meant people were very disappointed because he replaced Odin. And Odin would just one-shot everyone.
Yeah.
Not the bosses. I don't think he ever showed in the bosses apart from against Cypher. But... But the fact that, Odin just one-shotting everyone. I would love... Do you know what? I would love Odin to have the two different types of summons that he had.
Yeah.
So against bosses, he would be the spear. And in just normal mobs, it would be... Although, to be honest, the summons only show up at certain times.
Yeah, it's mostly against bosses.
It's like Final Fantasy 15, which I'm kind of disappointed because sometimes I just want to show off. Here, look at this mighty being.
Look what I can do.
Oh yeah. Oh, look at you, little peon. Look at you. You're about to be nuked from orbit.
Yeah, it does. That does kind of suck. But yeah, write down in your comments if anybody does watch this. But let's face it, nobody does. Nobody watches these videos. Any summons that you would like to see in the future Final Fantasy 7 games, because there's going to be a few. It's going to be more than 3. I can't see them. Unless they absolutely slimline it down to nothing. I can't see them doing it. I don't think it's possible.
I mean, to be honest, part 1 is just as much. It has as much content as the full Final Fantasy 7. Right, time-wise, it takes roughly around about the same amount of time to get through Remake Part 1 and Final Fantasy 7, the original. It takes just as much time to go through both, the whole thing. So they don't have to per se add a whole bunch of news. I just don't think they need to add as much as they have done in the next 2 parts, and they may be able to.
I suppose it all depends on the ending, because we've not got to the ending yet. Yeah. So for all we know, we could be getting a curveball smashed into our face.
Potentially, yeah.
Because there has been things that have changed already. Yes.
And there have been people reacting to changes and not being happy about it, which makes me kind of
concerned. But anyway, again, thank you for watching.
At the third time I'm asking when we're finishing this video.
Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next videos. Bye now.
Toodles, everyone.